our tool and start experimenting and coming up with ideas, and maybe we can partner together. And maybe we'll go partner together and make the big bucks before you get out of high school. How would that be? Who's interested?
I just don't want to sit on the computer.
I don't know.
I don't want to sit on a computer all day.
Nope.
This isn't for everybody because working with computers might not be your purpose. And you might know that already because you feel no passion about thinking about spending time on a computer. And that's okay. But let's talk about what's happening in the world of computers, because a lot of things are happening like what we're doing. And I want to tell you what's coming in the future. Okay? How many of you heard the term the internet?
Duh.
What is
the internet. It's just
What do you say now?
I'm trying to remember what this stands for. When you write things out that's multiple words, you take the first letters, like LOL. That's called an acronym, right? The Defense Department, the D up here stands for the Defense Department. In the 1960s, a long time ago, there were computers networked together, and they had a need to network computers to do more things cooperatively across computers. It was like the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, something like that. Now you see what I'm talking about. But they put together the foundations of how computers can share things. It's called networking protocols. Okay. Now, who's heard the word protocol? Okay. If I'm going to go visit the Queen of England, what do you think might be the protocol for meeting the Queen?
Yeah, thank you.
There's the extra autograph. Hey, Queen, can I get your autograph? No, probably not. What would be proper protocol if you go before royalty?
nice outfit.
Huh? What did you say?
Nice outfit.
Nice outfit, probably proper dress. Probably not going to go in with certain things that you can't eat in a restaurant because they don't allow. Queen probably doesn't either. But you're right, yeah. Maybe it's proper to bow. Or curtsy.
We'll do that for that.
But anyway, that's considered protocol. It's like the rules for how to interact. Protocol is a big word for rules for interaction. They developed networking protocols, which is a computer term also, but it's the rules for how to share information. And they developed a big network in the Department of Defense. And over time, people started using it and growing it, and eventually this evolved into, I'm leaving out some steps, but it evolved into the internet, which means the internetwork of computers. And then some people came along and said, you know, we need to be able to, I mean, all the information was pretty much just like on your, on email, you know, just kind of text messages sometimes, you know how not too exciting with a text email. But you get a graphical email and you got pictures and other things, it's a lot easier to, it's just a lot, you know, more useful. Somebody came along and invented another protocol for how to exchange information and create and integrate graphics and have something called hyperlinks. Who's heard the term link? Well, that's short for hyperlink. Okay? Who's heard the term hyperlink? Okay? It's the same thing. And the idea is that you put a reference that somebody, all they have to do is click on it. Okay? Now I'm going to try to tell you a joke. Are you ready for a joke? Somebody told me that there's actually life outside the internet. You know what I said?
What'd you say?
I said, send me a link. Okay. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dan.
Gina came up with that dude.
I like that.
The World Wide Web was a huge revolution and what happened, and all these websites and people putting things in place. A simple idea of create hyperlinks in text so that someone can just quickly jump around was a revolutionary idea. Breakthrough ideas don't have to be algorithms. They can just be some simple notions that solve a problem. So you'll be driven to your great creative ideas by the problems you encounter. That's what's going to drive your creativity. So sometimes if you just get involved in certain circles and are active, you have opportunities for innovation. And innovation leads to invention. And what I'm trying to do right now is organize a bunch of people to be able to, oh, that's the most fun, huh? To be able to invest early in inventions, because guess who gets the biggest return on their investment?
The people who made it.
The people who get the first fruits.
Investors.
So a business term that you need to know is ROI. Everybody say ROI. ROI. Say it out one more time. ROI. Return on investment. What's your return on investment? Okay? When you go home tonight, and anybody says, hey, what'd you learn at school today? I say, oh, we just talked about ROI. See what they say. Okay? ROI is the return on investment. If I give you something and say, go invest it and bring me back what you made. Let's say I gave you $10,000.
I like that.
And I said, go find a good investment where you can build that up and make money. You know, you make money on money. That's all I do. Investment is you kind of put your money somewhere where it can be working. If you put it at the bank in a CD, they pay you interest on it. And it's embarrassing how low that amount is. Okay? Return on investment is how much the investment part can actually make. In our startup, we're getting ready to try to raise $3 million because we got a big idea and we need some big funding. And we're going to go out to the world of angel investors, is what they're called, because they're wealthy people, millionaires, and they can afford to take a risk of big dollars. But we're going to give them an interest rate of up to, we're going to negotiate and try to maybe get them for 8%, but we're willing to pay up to 20% interest on that $10,000. Now, if I gave him $10,000 and he went and put it in my company and got that interest in a year, how much would he be giving me back?
$50 million.
What's 20% interest on $10,000?
Mama have to do math.
Okay. So y'all been sleeping in math class, right?
You gotta go 20 over 100 and you gotta put an extra.
Oh, no, my mom was sleeping.
You gotta do
What's 10% of 10,000?
10,000.
It's 110. 10% is 110. So what's 110?
100.
$1,000.
1,000.
20% is double that. So what? How much interest?
$2,000.
$2,000.
And then how's that?
So if he gets me a 20% ROI, I've got $2,000 that I've got on top of my original investment.
That ain't bad.
That's what we're talking about here with technology, with investments. I just want you to know about it. The people who get the big ROIs, the people who bought stock in my company, okay, who are going to get the first fruits in 5 years, we think they're going to be able to get a 20 times return on their investment. We've been working on all the spreadsheets. That's what we do in our business is we plan. And we've been looking at the spreadsheets and how we're going to sell the product and how much we're going to charge for it, who's going to buy it. We put all these in spreadsheets and we calculate and we're doing business planning. And all we need for that is a spreadsheet, a simple spreadsheet tool. It's not that hard, but it does include some algorithms that people use frequently in business. So here I'm using all these terms to just show you that you put them to work and you have some pretty good potential. You take an idea and then you build your product and then you sell it. And if we execute our plans, the people who put money in early to allow us to do this, our investors, are going to get 20 times ROI. Actually, let me say it differently. They're going to get 20 times what they put in, but it's going to take 5 years.
Oh.
Okay? But what's 20 times $10,000?
100,000.
11, 20.
You know, guys, I've learned not to shout out if you don't know the answer. Just to work better for you in life.
200,000.
You said 2,000.
2 minutes.
20 times 10,000 is $200,000.
That's not fair.
What was it?
All right, so we're hoping to pay off a 20 times return on investment, and that's big. And there's some things coming that are going to really change the rules of how we live and how we work. And there's going to be a lot of people innovating, and it's called. Well, let me just tell you that there's a cloud computer revolution. Can you pick up this on the camera? Is this doing okay? And I want you to know what this is. The IoT. I'll write it up here. So let me tell you about the cloud and the IoT, and then we'll be done. Okay? Cloud computing came along and followed the World Wide Web. And the big difference with cloud computing is how you use it and how you pay for it. Cloud computing is like going to a restaurant and you don't buy all the Cokes there, you just pay for one of the Cokes. You pay by the drink, you pay by the burger. You just buy things in small units. And that's the whole business model for the cloud, is you just pay for what you use. The old model was you had to get big servers and you had to get your own network connections and you had to get big applications and systems and operating systems and put up your websites. And that's how you start your business. Well, now in the cloud, you can just go out and with Amazon, they create what's called a virtual instance. And for a small amount of money, maybe $10 a month, $20 a month, you have your whole computer environment, just like a business used to, but they'd have to spend thousands of dollars. You can do it for $10 a month, and you can do a lot more than just a website. Now, when the World Wide Web came along, you can do websites for free or for not much. So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about offering business solutions on the internet. And the cloud has changed the rules, but just realize the cloud is just a different pricing model where you pay by what you use and you don't have to make big investments if you're a business. And now the Internet of Things. Who's heard of the Internet of Things? Show of hands. The Internet of Things. Well, think about it. It's basically smart devices on the internet. Internet-connected devices. Now, we have that now, but there's going to be a revolution in the years where you're going through school. The opportunity you have is to watch a new revolution in how technology is used. Intelligent devices will be things we wear. Things that maybe monitor our body measurements and signs and pulse and other things that you couldn't find. Well, there'll be a device you can wear to pick that up for you. But not only pick it up, but to report it to some center because it's network connected. And somebody else will know immediately when your pulse changes or your heart stops. It could be a device that we wear around our neck that detects whether I'm vertical or horizontal. And if I'm an elderly person and I'm horizontal during the middle of the day, and if you use the GPS and you actually figure out where they are, a position sensor, and you say, hey, this person's horizontal in the middle of the day, and it's not their bedroom, and their pulse is bad, you just now detected a potential emergency, life-threatening situation. Intelligent devices changing where decisions are made, changing our ability to respond to situations, and those are just two examples. How many of you have a smoke detector in your house? How many of your smoke detectors are connected to the internet?
I don't know.
Probably not. Probably not. Well, that's a security system, okay? But the smoke detector is a device that used to just be, everybody knew it would give out a sound, but with security systems and other enhancements, it can become an intelligent device and do a lot more than that. And if you connect it to the internet, when it goes off in your kitchen, how about it calls your cell phone? How about it sends an alert to the fire department?
That's a good
You
idea.
know, there's just a lot of potential for change. We've been talking about this for years, but starting between this year and the year 2020, where will you be in 2020?
I'll be
18.
college.
I'll be 20 years old.
By the time you hit college,
I'll be
2020.
by the time you hit college, there will be $13 trillion, $13 trillion
That's a lot.
of business that's taking place on the Internet of Things. All right, now,
What do you?
the Internet of Things are devices that you wear, devices you use in your home, devices you use in school, devices you use in the workplace, devices that you use in your car, transportation. You see them now. You see things showing up. It's going to continue to accelerate. And I'm working with a company right now that we're trying to put a chip into a football helmet because we think we can do it better than other people who put chips in football helmets. There's some people, they got before us, they put some chips in football helmets, and I think it's going to cost about $1,200 per helmet for somebody to use it.
Why would you put a chip in helmet?
Because what it's going to do is the chip is going to measure impact and transmit to the sidelines to a computer that a doctor can be looking at and see when you just got your bell rung, if you might have a concussion and need to be checked out and pulled out of the game, and that's protecting your life. And right now people are dying because of traumatic brain injury. Okay? So an intelligent device in the helmet or in the mouth guard, that when you take an impact, it sends and transmits signals to the sidelines. That's an intelligent device. It means it's got some computer chips and some program logic, and it's producing information we can use to make better decisions. Yeah.
But isn't somebody's break picture?
Well, it might, and that's a big part of the deal, but that's not a big showstopper right now. They've got enough reliable way to manufacture the chips to take large impacts. But we think we can build that and get it to market for $150. And if we can do that, then we might jump in and get those helmets into high schools and even sandlot leagues quicker, okay? And that's another startup company I work with, another entrepreneur who's my friend. We're trying to raise $300,000 for his project. The internet, go ahead, I'm almost out of time, so I want to tell you one important thing. Go ahead. Well, the helmets are made out of fiberglass right now. I don't know all the composite materials. But the point is even with a helmet, certain impact is causing concussions that can lead to, if you keep playing with concussion, you can do permanent damage or die. So that's just one idea. The motion sensing technology for laying on the floor, the things that you put in the helmet, you can use things like that in your workplace, you can use them in manufacturing, you can use them all throughout life. And take those all together, whenever they're on the internet, they're going to be referred to as the what?
Internet of Things.
The Internet of Things. So start reading about it, start learning about it, start thinking about it, and think about good ideas for networking. This one friend in Texas put an intelligent device into a septic tank. You know what a septic tank is?
Yeah.
And when that septic tank breaks, it's on the internet and it sends information to tell a service guy to come fix it. That's an intelligent septic tank. So let me take that million, billions, and trillions. It's real important that you know the difference between those numbers. How many of you here are a million seconds old? You told me your age, so you know how old you are. So who's a million seconds old?
What's
Me.
that? Dang, I know that.
You don't know, do you? Why are you raising your hand? Because he read it. Look, a million seconds is 12 days.
Me?
So everybody may know. You're not used to thinking of your age in seconds, but I want you to think about how much a million is. So you got a million seconds is 12 days. So how much is a billion seconds?
24.
You multiply by 1,000.
24 days.
You multiply by 1,000. So how many days?
I just found
12,000 days is a billion seconds. How many of you are 12,000 days old? Keep your hands down.
It smells good.
Keep them down. Don't raise your hand and show your ignorance. It's math. 365 into 12,000, you can't do that in your head that quick. If you did, it'd be 32 years plus some change.
Ooh,
So is anybody in here 12,000 days old?
Miss Watson, are you?
Oh.
Okay, now do the math.
Don't worry,
How much is
you know
a
you
trillion
He's so
seconds? How much is a trillion seconds?
Oh.
1,000 times 32 years is 32 what? 32,000 years is a trillion seconds. Now let me just ask you, when I use the word million, is there a difference between million and billion and trillion?
Yeah.
12 days versus what? 32 years versus 32,000 years. Y'all been very polite